Hello there, it's the 29th of June 2020 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK. So I've been doing a little bit of harvesting this evening, picked some fruit, and man, the fruit this year just seems absolutely amazing, and there's loads more to come as well. You've seen the amount of cherries that I've harvested, and I picked a load more tonight, just getting a good amount every evening. It's lovely. And picked some peaches as well, and some raspberries, and the blueberries are on the way. We'll go and have a look at those in a moment. So I'll just show you here, look at these. So pick these peaches, one punnet full there, and there really are loads more to come. This is probably, oh dear, this is probably 1/8 of the overall crop, maybe even a little bit less than that. So it's brilliant. And here, look, some more stellar cherries there, and a few of the world's smallest raspberries. That'll be my fault though, because I didn't water the plants, and here in the southeast of the UK we've had some relatively dry weather. So this Korean mint, this is very fascinating stuff actually. I grew this from seed, and it's really delicious, and you can make really nice tea out of this. All I've done is just got a few leaves and simply put them in a cup with some boiling water, and it makes a really nice tasting tea. So very fascinating actually. I'm growing it in this tub here so that it doesn't become potentially invasive. So here's one for you to add to your list if you want a dwarf bean, a bush variety. This is variety tender green. Picked a load of these yesterday, and enough for probably about 2 or 3 meals, depending on how many you eat obviously, from this little bunch of plants here. And there's loads more to come as well, so it's just really a great thing to grow. Let's see if I can find just some more. Yeah, it's got a hint of black fly. I've been regularly treating that, but the black fly this year in particular is a real battle. I've heard many people talking about black fly, and the old washing up liquid seems to be the sort of traditional remedy, if you will, for it. So yes, the blueberries really are starting to come into their own now. I've got quite a lot of varieties. I really need to make a separate video on my blueberry project, because I think I've got about 5 varieties, and early season, mid and late season, but really heavy crops considering how young these plants are. I've got some more mature specimens as well, and they're carrying a crop as well. So what I'm doing every other week is giving them an ericaceous drench, and in between that I'm giving them a balanced fertiliser as well. So they're doing very well. You can see the tayberries are still rocking and rolling. I mean, you really can see just how many tayberries there are, and you know how many I've had already. So I really would recommend people get into their tayberries. So in these tubs I've got new potatoes, First Early's variety Swift, and they are absolutely delicious. Okay, so if you want a great First Early new potato, I'd recommend variety Swift. So 2 buckets left, and what I'm going to be doing is probably eating the contents of 1 bucket, and the other one I'm probably going to keep them as seed potatoes for next year. One aim I want to do is to get a really early crop of of early potatoes. So I've got loads and loads that I really want to do now. Feeling rather inspired actually. This year is the first year here that the project has really sort of come into its own, and I'm very grateful for that. So over the next few months I'm going to be installing more water butts. I've got a cubic metre water tank that I need to get hooked up using an interrupter to a downpipe, and really get that full. I want to get more into making my own composts again, like I used 2 years ago. I used to make nettle tea and things like that. Now, one thing I'm thinking about doing when all these potatoes are harvested is getting maybe 1 or 2 ton bags in here and filling them both with horse manure. Now that will certainly be described as a pungent project, but if you get it right, about a cubic metre, you can actually create compost in about 6 weeks with using horse manure, because the heat of it cooks really well and it kills all of the weed seeds in there, and it's just a very, very good way to make compost very, very quickly. And it will have the added benefit, if you keep it going, of heating the polytunnel over the winter period. So there we go. Now, so much I want to do. Of course, one has to fit this all in with work and things, and you all know what that's like. One cannot spend all their time gardening. But yeah, feeling quite positive actually this evening. Regarding the water situation, I know that many of you are aware of this already, but certainly seems to be an increasing problem, you know, having enough water to water one's allotment or garden. So I think if we can, we all want to start saving more water, and water butts are brilliant, you know. So there we go. Now, strawberries are largely finished now, so there's going to be plenty of runners to be taken. If I look down here, I'll just try and find you some on here. There you go, there's a runner there, look. So what variety is this? Yeah, this is Royal Sovereign. So what you do, okay, you see that runner that's coming from the mother plant. So this is the mother plant and this is the runner. What you do, right, is you just get a pot of compost, push that down into it. We'll just use this. We'll use this here as an example, okay? Let's say this is your pot of compost. You just push it in like that, and use a stone or maybe a wire or something to keep it in there. And you just leave it. Before you leave that for the day, you cut off here, because you only want the first of every runner. So there we go, that's the strongest one. So that's going to be something to do. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The melons are rocking down here, so we'll see just what happens with regards to crops from there. So any day now I've got a delivery coming of some new things, so that'll be a very interesting one. I'm going to be getting more and more strawberry varieties as well. I've got a list of them I want to be getting. So I put up a piece of guttering along the fence here. Now this was going to be part of a water collection project, which I've decided to change. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm probably going to be putting some strawberry plants in there. So I think that'll be really, really lovely, just to see how many strawberry plants I can get growing in there, and hopefully a huge crop from them. So when these potatoes come out, I'm going to be storing some. I'm going to be getting the older Hessian sack or paper sack, whatever, or card, whatever, and storing potatoes. So hopefully, there we go. Going to be growing more and more varieties of potatoes next year. Going to be really going heavy on those. I think that's one thing that we certainly need to do if we can. So yeah, down here, won't be too long now before I can take some of these pups from the dwarf Cavendish banana. So you generally get two different types, okay, of pups. You get water pups and sword pups, and the water pups are like these ones, with the leaves, and sword pups tend to come out in sort of a like a sword, you know, without any leaves. So there we go. Intriguing stuff, really, banana propagation. Just does make me think, you know, what possibilities there are. Okay, peeps, loads to do. So there we are. If you like my work, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. See you in the next video. And Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram. Enjoy your late June gardening. Thank you for viewing.